Hey, welcome back. This is video 2 out of hopefully 30 videos a day. If you want to know more about that, check out yesterday's video. I'm trying to make 30 videos to kind of just introduce you to this channel, get some momentum in some of the things that I want to share. And yesterday I talked with you about how I want this channel to be about creativity, entrepreneurship, and faith, because that's tends to be the corner that I hang out on, thinking about those three things. And so I want to just deep dive a little more into why these three topics mean a lot to me and why I think this channel could be valuable to you if you're interested in one or even all three of those topics. So the first thing is I'm excited to talk about creativity, the creative process, the creative journey, mostly because I am a creative. I shared with you this yesterday, but I have written songs since I was a teenager. I've always sung since I was really little. I've been an artist and a songwriter as my profession for really my whole adult career life. But beyond that, I also just love a lot of other creative things. I'm like taking photos. I like writing. I like videography. Sometimes I even like baking. I just like doing creative things. I like not only doing creative things, I like learning new creative things. And something that I've noticed in myself, and because I live in Nashville and I know a lot of other creative people, is that creative people have some unique struggles. We have some mindset struggles that we deal with in our creative process, in the thought of sharing our creative work, as we think about even should we go beyond just sharing and should we find ways to make income from our creative work. There's just a lot of obstacles, and I know even just in the creative process and learning how to make things and how to get better at making things, there's just a lot to learn. And so I've been learning a lot. I've hoped to continue to learn, and really all I want to do is share about all of these awesome things that I've learned about, share with you, if you're creative, all of these amazing resources, these books, these podcasts, these videos that I've been learning from. I want to pass them along to you in hopes that they just help your creativity skyrocket and help you grow to be the best creative person that you have the potential to be. And I want to share with you all the things that have been encouraging me in my brain, in my mindset as a creative, to help me overcome all the obstacles that stand in my way as a creative, because I think a lot of us creative people share similar struggles. And so I'm no expert in all of this stuff. I just really want to pass along the things that have been helpful to me. And I've kind of tried to do some of this before with some other videos, and I felt like I needed to mostly focus in on helping musicians and artists, because that's what I've technically done for a profession for the last 15 years. But the thing is, I do want to help other artists and musicians, and if that's you, I'm so glad you're here. But my heart really isn't to focus in on how to necessarily be an artist or how to be a songwriter or how to make an income from that. I probably will still talk about some of those things because I do have a lot of experience in that. It is how I've made my living, but I really just want to talk about creativity and really just encourage creatives of all kinds, rather than feeling like I'm really focusing in on just helping musical artists. And so if you're a musical artist, you're welcome here. But also, if you're not a musical artist and you're just someone who loves to do creative things, maybe you're not even really sure what creative thing is your thing. That's okay, because I'm not sure what my creative thing is either. I know I've made my living as a songwriter and artist, but I'm starting to even pivot to doing more photography, more video, creating more content, doing more writing. And so I feel there's a word for this. I can't remember what it is, but basically I'm a multifaceted creator type of a person. And so if that's you, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm excited to talk about creative things with you. Second thing, with the entrepreneurship, with work, with career stuff, the thing is, for me, I kind of struggled coming out of high school knowing what to pursue as a degree. I think a lot of us do struggle with knowing what we should pursue. And then even when we get a degree, a lot of us end up doing something totally different than what we got our degree in. And so I know that's not that abnormal, but something for me is I knew I liked music. I knew I liked songwriting, but I had kind of sworn off music because I just didn't see or know how I could make a living or income from doing that other than being what my parents were, which was a choir teacher, an old school worship pastor. That was great, and I love that they did that, but that's not necessarily something that I wanted to do for a living. And I wasn't really sure how to channel all my creative energies into my work life and into a way to make income. Thankfully, I had a mentor who told me about Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. I had kind of sworn off music and creativity and decided to go a whole different route, but they sat me down. They said, you need to pursue something creative, and you need to pursue your songwriting, your artistry. And he told me about Belmont in Nashville. I went there for a music degree, started taking some music business classes just because people told me that that's something that I should probably do. Did not expect to love my music business classes, but I found out that I did. I loved my music business classes even more than my music classes, and I really loved my music classes a lot. I'm a nerd. I really like music theory. A lot of people don't like it. I really love it. I feel like it helps me to create better stuff. But I really loved my music business classes, and I ended up switching my degree fully to music business because I loved it so much. And so I was just surprised to find out how much my brain thought like an entrepreneur, and I love thinking about business, and I love thinking about opportunities and ideas and how to take what I do and make money from it, how to go out into the world and create value for people that they're willing to pay for. And so I'm excited to share some of those thoughts with you. That is also something that I've just continued to steep myself in over the years, reading lots of books, resources. I've consulted with a lot of friends over the years, artists, creatives of all kinds, trying to encourage them and help them to think about ways that they could take their creative work and turn it into a way to make income if that's what they want to do. Not everybody wants to do that, but some people do, and sometimes we're just not sure how to do that. And so I hope that this channel can talk about some of those things, can give you some ideas, can help encourage you if you have any desire to be entrepreneurial at all. But really, I don't want this to just be about entrepreneurship, because one thing that I love is I love just thinking about work and careers and just our work life in general, because most of us spend the majority of our lives working, and our careers are really important. A lot of times we center our lives around these career choices and around our need to make an income. And so I've just done a lot of thinking, reading, learning, still learning a lot about work, career, entrepreneurship. And so I just plan to make a lot of videos talking about those things that are helpful to me, things that I hope will be helpful to you as you think about your work life, as you think about your entrepreneurship journey, if you're on an entrepreneurship journey, or if you might want to be on an entrepreneurship journey. And so I think that you might find value in this content, even if you're not a creative, but you just want some clarity on your work life, want some thoughts, some things to help you think through your work life, your career, your desires to do anything entrepreneurial. I think that you'll find value here. But if you are creative who also is trying to figure out your work life and you potentially want to be entrepreneurial, then I think this channel will hit the nail on the head for you. That's my hope, at least. That's what I'm shooting for. And then the third and last thing is that I am a Christian, and I deeply love Jesus. I'm deeply invested in my faith. My faith really informs my thought life, my entire life. It drives me crazy when I feel like, my faith is disconnected from certain parts of my life. I really long to have my faith really integrated with how I think and how I'm operating in the world. And so since I am a creative, since I am entrepreneurial, and I do have to work for a living, I think a lot about what my faith has to say about that, how my faith informs my creative life, my work life, my entrepreneurial life. And I think sometimes we are content with living divided, living with our faith life being over here and our work life being over here, because we're kind of afraid of what our faith might demand of us or expect of us, or ways in which we might be limited by our faith. And I'm not saying that there's not any limitations that come from believing certain things. In fact, I would say that limitations provide more freedom, that whenever we limit ourselves in a healthy way, we actually find that there's more life to be had, more joy to be had, more opportunities to be had. We tend to be the most destructive forces in our own lives. And so sometimes our faith really helps us gain freedom through limitations. But I am saying also, though, that what I have found to be true is that the deeper I go into my faith, the more I understand the God who created the world and the universe, and the more I understand who Jesus is and why he's come, and just understand God's love and care for me. And I try to wrap my mind and understand how he thinks about my work, how he thinks about my creativity, the more I really believe that he made me the way that I am. He made me with this propensity to want to create. He made my brain in a way that I love entrepreneurship. He's given me the opportunities and the experiences that I've had. The more I lean into that, the more I find actually that my faith in God, my faith in Jesus Christ, actually deeply dignifies my work and my creativity, and it elevates me, it motivates me, it gives me deeper meaning and satisfaction and purpose and energy. And man, what am I looking for? It really ignites a passion and an intensity in me to go out and to do my creative work, to go out and do work in general. I'm excited to talk with you a whole lot more about this. But I think what I want this channel to be about is to see that our faith in Christ really just serves as fuel to help us go out with purpose and mission and energy to go out and do our best work and to be the best that we can be in our creative pursuits and in our work life. So I should also add that I am 100% a family guy. I'm a husband and a dad. And if you watch the show Bluey, then Bingo from that show is like one of my heroes. He's like who I would love to be. And yeah, so providing for my family, being in deep relationships with my family, spending quality time with my family, all of these are big reasons as to why I do what I do creatively and entrepreneurially. So though that is not an official topic of this channel and things that I'm going to talk about, please don't be surprised if it leaks into a lot more videos in the future, because it's just a big part of who I am. It's kind of like a unspoken fourth element of these videos in this channel because it's part of who I am. And it might be a part of who you are too. You might be a real family person as well, and that really impacts a lot of your thoughts on your life and your creativity and your work. I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. And I think that's wonderful. So here on YouTube, I'm interested in connecting with people who are quite simply interested in these things as well, who are interested in creativity, interested in thinking deeply about work life, thinking about entrepreneurial things, but then people who are also really interested in how all of this relates to faith in Christ. And so if that's you, I would love to have you come and join me on this channel to learn and grow with me. I want to learn and grow from you. Let's have conversations as I continue to release videos about these things over here on this channel. That's all I have for today. This video is already way longer than I wanted it to be. In tomorrow's video, I'm going to share with you just a few of my favorite resources for growing in creative process. I talked a lot about that earlier, that I love growing. I've been learning a lot. I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite resources that you have to check out, tell you why I love them, why they have meant so much to me, and how they've helped in dealing with unhelpful mindset issues that I have faced as a creative and that you might face as a creative. But that's for tomorrow's video. I want you to come back and we'll talk about it then. All right, see you tomorrow.